Imagine, in a quiet corner of East Africa, buried underground for nearly 3 million years, a great secret awaits discovery. Secret about us. Who were the first humans? What happened before Homo sapiens walked the earth? This discovery changes human history. But what do you think? Could there be other ancient species yet to be discovered? Is Homo ignotus really our ancestor? Or just a forgotten branch? Leave your thoughts in the comments. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more surprising stories about our origins. An unexpected discovery in the Awash Valley. That morning, the sun was barely high when a group of young researchers arrived in the Awash Valley, Ethiopia. A dry region, filled with rocks and layers of soil that seemed to hold secrets from thousands, if not millions of years ago. They weren't the first team to come here, but their enthusiasm was high. Among them, a paleoanthropologist named Dr. Khalid led what was being called the most ambitious expedition in the last 10 years. For weeks, nothing significant was found. Only fragments of animal bones, fossilized remains of ancient plants, and a few simple stone tools. Everything seemed like a repeat of previous discoveries. Until one morning, one of his young assistants, Imran, shouted from a distance, "Sir, I found something." Dr. Khalid hurried over. In the harsh sunlight, a partial jawbone was revealed, almost completely buried in the old brown clay. Its shape was unlike any animal bone they were used to finding. It had small canine teeth, and a jaw arch that felt human. The excavation was proceeding with great care. It took 3 days just to remove part of the jaw structure. Surprisingly, the fossil was in excellent condition. It wasn't crushed, it wasn't broken, and from its depth, it was clear that it wasn't a new bone. Dr. Khalid immediately sent the fossil to a high-altitude laboratory in Addis Ababa. There, the astonishing results began to emerge. Radiometry indicated the age of the soil layer surrounding the fossil, approximately 2.8 million years old, a figure that immediately shocked the research team. This could be older than Homo habilis, Dr. Khalid muttered, staring at the screen. It didn't take long for news to spread internationally. However, Dr. Khalid didn't want to make an official statement yet. He knew that if his findings were correct, it could be the first piece in a larger puzzle about the origins of modern humans. And not everyone was ready to hear it. That night, in the logistics tent, Dr. Khalid sat in contemplation. The desert wind rustled the fabric curtains. He opened his field journal, recording every detail. But his heart was restless, because he knew that the older the fossil, the greater the likelihood that human history would need to be rewritten. And from the darkness of the night, it was as if the Awash Valley itself was whispering that the secrets of who we truly are were beginning to be revealed. The footprint that changed everything. 3 weeks after the initial discovery, the Paleogen laboratory in Addis Ababa was filled with excitement. Dr. Livia Ortega, an evolutionary geneticist from Spain, had just arrived to analyze the bone's microscopic structure and any remaining DNA. While it's extremely rare to find genetic material in such an old fossil, new technology allows scanning down to the nanoscale. If this is valid, Dr. Livia said, playing a 3D image of the fossil on the screen, then we're talking about a new species. Perhaps a transitional tool between Australopithecus and Homo. Dr. Khalid nodded slowly. Or something we haven't even imagined yet. The team discovered strange features in the jaw fossil. The molars were smaller than those of Australopithecus, but stronger than those of Homo habilis. The jawbone was straighter, unlike those of ape relatives, but not yet fully resembling those of modern humans. Most surprising were the flakes found around the excavation site. Some of them showed distinctive fracture patterns, signs that the tools had been used to cut or strike something. This meant that this species might have learned to use tools much earlier than we had previously thought. We haven't just found bones, Dr. Khalid whispered to himself. We might have found the first hands that made tools. Shortly after the initial analysis was made public to the scientific community, speculation began. Some called the species Homo awashensis, referring to the location where it was found. Others, more conservative, called it an early variant of Homo habilis. But all agreed on one thing. This discovery would shake the foundations of the theory of human evolution. But not everyone was happy. Some began to question the authenticity of the data. Some media outlets began to push the narrative that this was merely academic hype. Even an international religious organization openly called the discovery a scientific fabrication. Dr. Khalid chose to remain silent. He knew it wasn't time to reveal everything. There was something bigger hidden in the valley. A secret they hadn't yet unearthed. Because one of the latest satellite scans revealed an underground pattern, it was likely that more than one individual was buried there. And if the rest were more complete, then the world would truly be shocked. Buried secrets. 3 months after the initial discovery, Dr. Khalid's team returned to the Awash Valley. With the help of underground radar and geophysical mapping, they began excavating the previously suspicious spot. The work progressed slowly but steadily. At a depth of nearly 4 meters, they discovered what appeared to be another skull fragment. Larger, more intact. That day, the Ethiopian soil felt quieter than usual. The wind had died down, and the sound of diggers rang out loudly in the silence. Then rib fragments emerged. Pelvic bones. Complete skeleton. Unlike previous fossils, this individual had more advanced features. Its brain case was larger, and the position of the pelvic bones suggested it walked fully upright. However, the skull had something scientists had never seen before: a rounded forehead and a lower jaw shape that almost resembled that of a modern human. This isn't Australopithecus, Dr. Livia murmured, her voice choked. Not Homo habilis either, Dr. Khalid added slowly. The world's paleoanthropologists were immediately gathered for an emergency, closed-door international conference. A few weeks later, the final report was announced. This discovery didn't just fill a gap in evolution. It opened a new branch. This creature, dubbed Homo ignotus, the forgotten man, is estimated to have lived 2.8 million years ago. It exhibited a surprising combination of thinking, tool use, and social behavior far beyond that of any other species of its time. Moreover, isotope analysis of its bones revealed a complex diet, and even the possibility that this species possessed a rudimentary community structure. Who are we really? In the months following the official announcement, the world was in uproar. History books had to be revised. Museums around the world changed their exhibits. Schools began teaching that human evolution wasn't a simple, straight line from ape to man. Instead, it was a branching tree. And Homo ignotus was one of the earliest branches we never knew existed. Yet the mystery remained. Dr. Khalid, now a world figure, still returns to the Awash Valley almost every year. He never sought fame. For him, the truth was the only thing that mattered. One afternoon, he stood at the edge of the excavation site, gazing out at the horizon. If Homo ignotus existed and went extinct, then who were our true ancestors? He asked quietly. Or could it be that they never completely disappeared? The desert wind rustled softly, as if carrying whispers of the past, a reminder that part of our history remains hidden, waiting to be discovered, and that perhaps our origins are more surprising than we ever imagined.